Gonna go ahead and aggressively push up here. Bam, bam. Across goal there, left foot. Get the volley there. Ooh, nice volley right there. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. We have the last storyline card of the season to review over here with Milinkovic-Savic. And guys, we're looking at a pretty nice card over here, right? So there's a couple positions that this guy would be very good in the midfield area, and we're going to talk about that. So we're looking at a player that is 6'3" with 4-star capabilities, right? High medium work rates and very good base card stats. So obviously the thing that pops out the most is obviously the fact that he has 72 pace. So that may be something that you want to improve right off the get-go, right? So the couple positions that I see this card being used in is any of the center mid positions and any of the center defense mid positions. Now, because of his height and the high medium work rates and that pace, we need to see what his stamina is, and it's at 89, so it's a very, very good minimum requirement, right? So I like to have the stamina at a minimum of like 87-ish, so when it's around that general area, it's pretty nice, right? So we can see right off the bat that his acceleration and sprint speed is not up to par. So in my opinion, I think you got to slap a shadow on him instantly, right? Because I think that the plus 15 in acceleration and the plus 10 in sprint speed would be very helpful in the midfield area, especially since he is a tall player that's going to be able to move around the pitch really nicely. The other thing that is quite noticeable on the card is the fact that his dribbling is at 68 for agility and 61 for balance. So even if you gave him the shadow chemistry style boost, that part of the card could be a nuisance, right? Potentially, because what I'm seeing with this card is potentially a similarity to Paul Pogba's card. And as you guys know, Paul Pogba in the beginning of the year was one of the meta cards. It was him next to Conte that was really good to use, right? Because Pogba also had that 4-star weak foot with 5-star skill moves. And in this case, we have a player that is 4-star skill moves with a 4-star weak foot. So we have to test out what his dribbling is like with the engine chemistry style, whether it's noticeable that I need the pace on the card, and whether it's noticeable that I need a defensive upgrade on the card, right? Because 70 acceleration, 72 sprint speed is not great. He does have great shooting capabilities for a midfielder. 84 finishing with 87 shot power, 86 composure is very nice. He obviously has very good passing stats, so with the engine chemistry style, it's unnecessary to give him that passing boost because it's already very good. Dribbling is something that you may want to consider boosting on the card because I think it's going to be important to maneuver around the pitch, but again, could be like Paul Pogba where not really a big deal, right? Defending stats, obviously you could improve as well. If you use him in the CDM position on stay back while attacking, cover center, you may want to have that shadow chemistry style with those defensive stat increases. And then physicality, you don't need to increase his physicality because the fact that he is 6'3" with a decent stock in game and he's just got great physical capabilities, you're looking at a very good card. So the things that we have to test out the most is whether the pace is a nuisance on the card, because we're going to try him on balanced instructions because I want to see what he's like pushing forward and transitioning back with those high medium work rates. And then we also want to see what his dribbling on the ball is going to be like with that agility and with that balance. Now, obviously, gameplay has a huge part to play when the dribbling is around that stat, and even when your dribbling is super high. So, depending on the gameplay, we're going to see what it's going to be like. So, the way that we're going to be lined up in-game is going to look like this. We're going to go ahead and use Milinkovic-Savic in a 4-2-3-1. We're going to put Laurent Blanc. We're going to put Laurent Blanc as the I'm going to put Laurent Blanc as the cam, and it's so hard just to go to the cam position here. This is still like such a annoying thing to deal with to like switch the players around. I'm going to go ahead and put Neymar off to the left side there. Milinkovic-Savic, because he's the 4-star weak-footed player, we're going to keep him on the left side just for now, and then we're just going to keep the rest of the team as is, except for George Best. We need to switch him with Lala, and then Lala's going to switch with Sergio Ramos. There we go. So now the team looks good. The way that we're going to be lined up with him in the team is going to be like this. So we're going to try him out on cover center with balance instructions with that 89 stamina and high medium work rates, and then we'll basically just transition from there and see what you may or may not want to improve on the card. So let's get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he's a beast. Okay, let's see what his dribbling is going to be like here. So we got Laurent Blanc, then we got Milinkovic-Savic. Yeah, so you can obviously feel the agility and balance being low, but I'm going to tell you guys this right now. His other three main dribbling stats in regards to actual dribbling, ball control, and whatnot, I think it's definitely going to be very helpful. So right now, he definitely feels very similar to Paul Pogba. So we just have to keep experimenting with that. You can see with the balance instructions, he does aggressively push up whenever he has the chance to. I'm going to go ahead and aggressively push up here. Bam. Bam. Cross goal to your left foot. Get the volley there. Ooh, nice volley right there. Very nice volley to get that deflection. We got very lucky with the deflection, obviously, to get the ball back. But, yeah, pretty nice there. You could definitely tell, like, how tall he is in game. And his stock is actually really nice. So I really do think, personally, like, right off the bat, I do think the stay back while attacking cover center is the best situation for this card. But we're going to have to keep experimenting. Alright, see what his off-the-ball movement is like here. So he's aggressively pushing the guy. Not controlling anything here. No second man press. You can see that he still aggressively pushes. Keeps aggressively pushing upwards. CDMs don't usually do that with good defensive stats. So you can tell that he kind of like pushes out of position. So a couple things could happen with that. Somebody else could occupy your position. So you can see that when Milinkovic-Savic transitioned forward, Laurent Blanc went to go and occupy his spot. So there is a rotation policy when your players tend to do that. So right off the bat, I think a shadow chemistry style obviously is going to be a very important thing. He's utilizing empty space really well right here. Great dribbling, good physical presence. Fake shots are never really like ideal to do, but we always like to try them. Yeah, he's definitely an aggressive CDM. You can see the way that he's actually marking that player right there. I want to switch off of these guys right here. So I'm going to switch off of Patrick Vieira. Look at his marking. Stays in the middle quite nicely. So he's a big player on rotation policy for sure. If I were to aggressively push him out, didn't even do anything there. And that was a really good interception, actually. If I were to push him out of position and I have a cam like Laurent Blanc that has defensive capabilities, he's going to be able to go into position really nicely. Not aggressive there, you see that? So because of the high medium work rates, he's not going to push back like someone like Patrick Vieira or Laurent Blanc. So you have to obviously be very careful with situations like that because of the high medium work rates and lack of main defensive stats, right? Like he has very good basic defensive stats, but if you were to improve it more to increase his defensive awareness and whatnot, I think it would definitely be a beneficial thing for sure. Yeah, he's basically like Pogba, guys. If you guys really liked Pogba's card, this card is very similar to him. If I'm going to make comparisons between players, it would be players like Konate, Zakaria, Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic. Very, very similar characteristics. Ooh, almost scores that opportunity, actually. I should have done better there because if he's pulling his goalkeeper, I have to do some skill moves to get past him there. I am enjoying the card, guys, but I am feeling like, you know how we gave him an engine chemistry style, right? So I feel like that agility and bounce boost is actually very helpful in the card. It doesn't feel like it's a really huge nuisance to have the pace the way that he does, to be honest with you. It doesn't really feel like it's a really big deal, which is obviously a great thing to have, right? Because, you know, when he transitions back, like he doesn't transition back super fast, but it doesn't feel like a huge nuisance, you know? I do think his dribbling would be significantly worse if he didn't have the engine chemistry style, though. So, again, you want to see this off-the-ball movement right here without me controlling anybody, without even using Patrick Vieira here. Tracks the player really nicely. I think he stays in the middle actually quite decently. I think that it is a situation where his dribbling is not going to feel necessarily that great. I think Pogba with a shadow chemistry style will still feel a little better than Milinkovic-Savic's card, but I think that this card with a shadow chemistry style would just be very helpful in that stay back while attacking cover center instruction because of that physical presence that he has like that, right? So you see his rotation policy again. So Laurent Blanc, again, occupying the position of the CDM role because Milinkovic-Savic is going to keep rotating, right? He's a rotational player. It's not necessarily a great thing to have with him specifically because he's not really cam material. So I'm definitely noticing that he's doing that a lot, though. All right, going to switch off from here again. Cut pass lanes. He's staying in the middle actually quite nicely. His base defending stats are actually really nice. I do think with a shadow chemistry style, and I'm going to keep saying it, he looks like a very good option. Ooh, we get that penalty. Do we dare chip him? He knows I'm going to go for the chip. I know the mentality behind this. There's no way that he doesn't predict the chip. Oh my god. Oh, cold as ice, baby. All right, guys. So final verdict on Milinkovic-Savic's card. I personally wouldn't choose him out of the three options. I think there's just so much you can do with Akanji and Kovacic's card in regards to link-ups and just general in-game quality. The thing about this card, right, is that if you give him an engine chemistry style boost and you can boost his agility and bounce, it is noticeably nice in-game to boost his agility and bounce by a +5 and 10. However, I do feel like the pace, it's not a nuisance to be 75 and 77, but I think nowadays it's just more preferable to have the pace on the card, right? So with the Shadow Chemistry style, on stay back while attacking, cover center, cut passing lanes, you are actually looking at a very decent center defensive mid. I just think personally he's not worth choosing over the other two options, right? If this card was a card that existed on the market, it would be a fun card to get and use in game. I think that if you give him the Shadow Chemistry style boost, the agility and balance being that low is going to be noticeable. He's going to feel very, very similar to Paul Pogba's card. Very similar. The comparisons that I make with cards is always players like Paul Pogba to Milinkovic-Savic, Zakaria with Konate's card, stuff like that, right? They have very similar characteristics. In regards to physicality, the way that they dribble, the way that they transition on the attack, so on and so forth, right? Physical presence was definitely noticeable. He has a great stock in game to be able to defend really nicely. Defensive stats on base card stats, he was actually defending quite nicely as well. I think with the Shadow Chemistry style boost, it would definitely be more beneficial. Shooting with the card is obviously a plus for CDM positions because you want to be able to shoot no matter what card you're using. Passing was great, but the dribbling was sluggish, especially with the build that he has in game, the body type. And then the pace being low was noticeably a thing with the engine chemistry style being at 75 and 77. So again, if you choose this card for the Serie A concept or you like what Lazio are doing in real life, then be my guest, get the card. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you know, I use William Carvalho with 40-something agility and 40-something bounce, and it is very noticeable in game, but I just like using William Carvalho because it's William Carvalho, right? So, yeah, it just depends on how your team is basically formatted, right? Like if you're using Serie A, then you use a Serie A, right? But generally speaking, if you're going to be choosing between the three, I would choose either Akanji or Kovacic's card. I think it would be better if you just gave all three of the cards because who cares, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the player review. We'll see what they release later today for an SBC if they do one. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.